Hey guys, welcome back to tuning part 2. This one's actually going to be really extensive, so sit back, relax, find something to eat, drink, and yeah, or even play Nitto while you listen on and watch. So anyways, here we have the the engine is a stock Integra, but everything else has been modified. I'm not going to go too much into details, but this is a stock engine. I have stock headers, stock exhaust, everything. So yeah, I do have seats, and I do have tires, and I do have rims, and yeah. So let's oh, and I have the Ichiban drag launch kit. So let's go ahead and test this out and see what numbers we hit. So yeah, just to show you guys that this is the stock engine. This is basically the control, and we're gonna test it out. I have a sorry launch because there's no launch control on here, and too used to head-to-head. So, and then plus I'm not even going for anything crazy or whatnot. But anyways, we're here in third gear, pretty much 15994, which is actually pretty good. If I'm gonna bracket, but since I'm not gonna bracket and it's not gonna be consistent, well, anyways, these are 18s, by the way, so that might be the reason why it's hitting 16. I believe with stock Integra and the stock rims and everything, without these kits and stuff like that, you should be running about 15.4. So about in 16 seconds, alright? Let's go ahead and dyno this baby, and let's see what we get. So, let's see, pretty weird curve right here, but it makes 147 horsepower at 115 pounds of torque. So, so where to start? Okay, so before you start tuning, I highly suggest you get this diagnostic tool, alright? From video part 1, basically this is the place where you're gonna see the flow of air that comes in and out of your car, right? And this is also has a fuel system, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and let's check out the intake system first, because that's the first thing that connects air from your to your engine. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a 24, which is a 77%, a 30, 97%, 25, 81%, and 31, 100%. So you guys are probably wondering how does these parts get rated, right? Well, over here to the right it says flow required 31. So that means that your engine should be or your engine is intaking 31 units of air. I wouldn't say units, but it's but yeah, I'm just gonna use units because wouldn't know how to say feet for pounds or whatnot. So I'm just gonna say 31 units of air. Let's just say units. All right. So the standard is units of air. So your intake is only taking 24 units of air. Your intake piping is taking 30, which is at 97, which is pretty good, and your throttle body is taking only 81%. So to increase, just from right here, to increase the flow rating of your car, what you need to do is you need to increase the size of this intake right here. And by just visually seeing these numbers, it's telling me that this intake, this really air filter right here, this is just the air filter. It is actually restricting a lot of air, or restricting around 23% of air or whatnot. Same thing with the intake piping, but intake piping is actually doing pretty good. So it's actually, this whole area actually has the capacity of only 1 unit less for 100% flow rating. Sorry. And your throttle body is only 81%, so it's a little bit better than your air filter, but your throttle body and your air filter is restricting that part. Now, will this increase horsepower? Yes and no, because of the fact that if you if you have 100% airflow, right, um, it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna increase your horsepower just yet. You need to actually fix your exhaust as well. So, and this is where it makes the difference. So, let's say you're doing you're doing a bolt-on build, which is just headers, exhaust, etc., etc. So you got to look at your exhaust, and your exhaust is showing 28 units of air that's being pushed out, that it can push out, which is at 90%. Not bad. 28 for your catalytic converter, 25 for your exhaust piping, and 25 for your muffler. So as you can see, everything right here is already in the red zone, but it is not that bad. But see how this is the main component that restricts air though. You want all this right here to be 31 units of 31. I find it that in this area, if you want to increase horsepower, just by bolt-on, that this area is very key. So both these two systems right here, you should keep your eye on. So let's get down to the example. I'm not going to go into fuel yet. The fuel actually is pretty good. So you got 100% fuel everywhere. It's above average, so which is great. So that means that we can probably put a lot more power in here and still be on a safe scale. So we'll start with intake. So it's at 24. So I need to increase it. I have to find the stock size. So this is where the testing comes to play. You gotta figure out what size is your air filter, your intake piping, and your throttle body, right? So keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna go shop at the Torino parts. I'm gonna try to keep it in between these two cities, where it's Torino and Nuremberg, or whatever, however you pronounce it. So we hit intake, air filters. So the OEM, it doesn't give us a factory size for the air filter. So you have different specs, like high flow filter, small, and you have a large right here. So you're gonna actually look through, and these little things actually help. Like if you read the little sentence right here, some of them are repeat, but a lot of them actually is very, like, just by the word that's being used, you can actually tell which unit should be good for your car. So mushroom shape, sponge type filter allows an increased airflow over factory unit. So hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and test. I'm just gonna go ahead and test this one from versus a small to a large. All right. So we're finding a size right now for a filter. So this is a large, or this is a small, and I'm just gonna buy a large just so I don't have to come back. Alright, hit home, come back, parts. Let's see. Intake. Alright, so I'm gonna install the small one first. And you don't need to do any dyno testing yet. What you do, if you have the diagnostic tool, hit the diagnostic tool, and you can, so the small filter, I still don't know the size yet, but the small filter actually works. It's at a rating of 34, which is 100%. I want to check out how big, or just to see what effect will the large air filter do. Go ahead, click this, intake, or nope, sorry, diagnostic tool, intake system. So I'm at 90 now, so actually it's actually a lot better, right? So this one is taking in more air, it's letting in more air. I'm gonna have to let this hit onto part 2. Sorry that it took so long, but I'm gonna let it hit part 2 because my time is running out.